Hi everyone, this is Menz here, playing the Tier 7 British tank destroyer, the AT-15a, here on Kharkov. Now, since this is a Tier 7 match, the armor of the AT-15a is pretty decent. You still have a few weak spots, especially that top little machine gun turret up there. One of your loaders is in there, and a lot of people know that, so they'll shoot at that just to take them out, so your reload really sucks, especially with your low damage per shot.
Let's go.
So since this is slow, kind of heavily armored, I'm going to be heading down the main pathway to an extent. However, I'm going to deviate off of it if there's one of the big guns, the T-29 and that SU-152. Now, I like heading south if I'm in a more mobile tank, but if you're in a slower tank, it doesn't really help you to go south, only because if your team gets stomped in the north, which is usually where most of your team is, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay, I don't know why he decided to go there. It's kind of a useless spot in a way. Hopefully he doesn't get whacked by that KV-2. Let's see if I can get a lot of damage in on him. He's the main target for us.
Frags up, let's go. Penetration. Enemy armor is damaged.
Let's see if I can keep him tracked and take him out. We should be able to get him out. I should only take one more shot before he's actually dead. So that's a pretty good job there. Really need to get this KV-2 out.
Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor is hit.
There's that KV-2 still. Need to be careful about him. He should be trying to come up behind me. Yep, there he is.
Penetration.
Nice, set him on fire. That's very good for me.
Critical hit.
That critical hit isn't good for me. There we
Enemy
go.
armor destroyed.
And there's two mediums back here, but I have a Churchill 3 with me, so he should be able to help protect me from being flanked. The E-25's is zipping along. He's already going to be behind me. Hello, little friend. Where are you going? I know you're going to see him. Shit, I missed. That's not good, that's not good. Come on, Churchill 3. You should be able to get him. And it didn't look like he landed his second shot. Okay, we still have a T-43 back here. Churchill should be alright at our base for now. But I'm trying... Scratch that. Our T-43 is gonna die before I get to him. Or maybe he won't. Okay, he should be able to get him out.
Enemy armor is hit.
Yeah, you have yourself stuck there, don't you? Yeah, you didn't think that through. You're a pretty light tank. I'm gonna worry about this M6 first. Although he's running away. Which is kind of smart. But AT-15a, it's a really good tank, but as you see, its mobility really hampers it because you can't get to everywhere where you need it. And had I went back to the base, more likely than not, we would still be in the same situation as I'm in now, just different tanks.
We've damaged them.
That M6 just is driving around. I know he's going to be able to flank me, but I have little choice.
Enemy armor is hit. Enemy is hit.
Okay, so he's one-shottable.
Enemy armor is damaged. We've damaged
Should
them.
get him to back off a little bit.
Enemy is hit.
Oh no! Ram!
Enemy armor destroyed.
There we go. It's nice to be heavy at times. There's that Hummel I have to worry about. However, I should be able to run this medium down. He's gonna think I'm gonna be coming around that corner, so I'm actually gonna fall back. Hopefully catch him off guard.
Enemy armor is hit.
No!
To fire.
5 hit points.
Observation device is damaged. Let's locate another target. The loader's injured. We can't fire as fast.
Just trying to draw him out, actually. If he thinks I have a long reload.
Enemy out. This vehicle has had it.
Well, I probably could have played that differently. Had I gone after the VK, I would have been safer from that Hummel, but I kind of overthinked it a little bit and got myself into trouble with 2 tanks and I couldn't take them out, but oh well. Still got a mastery ace tanker. Granted, it would have been nice if I won, but that was a pretty good try at a comeback. I was gonna say epic comeback, but no. Fighter, arsonist, duelist, blah 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 blah. Way too many of these things now. Did 4,008 damage, destroyed 4 tanks, 900 experience, and just goes to show you that this tank, a lot of people kind of, well, finish with the stats here. I also blocked 1,750 damage and almost made 1,000 or 100,000 credits. This does print a lot of money if you don't use premium shells. Now, a lot of people wrote this off when it first was introduced because it didn't have preferential matchmaking, which did make facing tier 9s hard. However, I thought it was a good tank all around, and even with its first iteration with the tier 9 matches, I still found it to be a very good tank. And you guys really need to know your weak spots and don't take on tough opponents. Even though you only face up to tier 8 now, you still have to keep that in mind, and heavily armored opponents, you still can't really face them, because your APCR round, as you'll see here, while it does have 239 millimeters of penetration, you don't do a lot of damage per shot. 239 is good for a tier 7 tank, not exactly a tank destroyer. However, very expensive to shoot, and you're still only doing 150 damage a shot, so more likely than not you're going to lose. You really want to pick your targets, focus on getting damage on those tough opponents like I was doing to the T-29, but doing it in a way where you're not going to lose a lot of HP or be swarmed by a bunch of people. You have the armor. Granted, there are holes in your armor. However, you can kind of negate that by, I always try to angle a little bit just to throw people off a little bit. They still will try to shoot at your weak spots, but if you kind of stay at range, angle a little bit, you have very good gun traverse. And mainly you need to get lucky, because a lot of people do aim at this and take your loader out, like what happened in that past game. But all things considered, it's a very good tank. You can do a lot of damage in this thing. They buffed the hit points. They were lower, and that was one of the problems with it. While I did think it was a good tank, the hit points were low, and you often were killed in 2 or 3 shots most matches. And currently, if you can play slow tanks, since this is a very slow tank as you saw, you have to make a lot of choices, and you're limited to where you can go on some maps because you will be flanked. Fortunately for me, I was flanked by 2 light tanks, and I could just ram them. So, all things considered, it's a very good tank, and it's probably one of the better premium tanks out there currently, even if you don't have a British tank destroyer crew, which obviously I do for the 183mm and the Tortoise. I keep them both. It is a very good tank because it does print a lot of credits, as evident by the 100,000 credits. As long as you do not buy these APDS rounds, which I do stock a bit just in case if I'm in moments, if I'm against, say, a tier 8 heavy and it's me versus him, I'm going to switch to that just so I can have a chance to win the match instead of shooting my AP round and possibly just losing the match because I'm being cheap. But anyway, thanks for watching my video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to check out new videos I release, and check out my website, wotguru.com.